India as well on Friday. But with that, let's get you more breaking news, which is coming in again from Bangladesh. There, unfortunately, is no end to the attacks on Hindus there, and the kind of rampant hatred that we have seen continues to singe on. In fact, there's fire, as you can see on your screens, in Hindu house after election results got announced in Bangladesh. Birganj is a sub-district which is located in Bangladesh's Dinajpur district. There are more details which are awaited. However, the sources are saying that the Hindu family who lived in this house, which has been set on fire, is safe. However, they've lost everything in this blaze. Well, locals, as you can see on your screens, did come out, however, to try and help douse the fire. Well, in fact, it is very unfortunately how these attacks continue to happen on Hindus in Bangladesh, an unfortunate trend that we have seen under Muhammad Yunus's rule, which is why there is going to be a lot of hope that this hatred is going to end with finally the elections happening in Bangladesh and the radical elements are going to be reined in. But that's going to be the biggest challenge for the BNP. Let me go across to Hridita, who's joining us. Hridita, elections have happened. Everyone's hoping across the world that radical elements would be reined in. But even before the results have been declared, this hatred against Hindu, this rampant violence against them still continues.
Absolutely. As you see that this is after the election results that have been out in Dhaka yesterday in Bangladesh. We can also see now violence has actually increased. It is not for the first time that the violence is happening, but prior to the elections, also this violence has been continuing. And after the BNP government has been selected, the elections, the violence is still continuing with the Hindu family's house that has been burned yesterday in Dinajpur's subdivision of Birganj, where we can see in Dhaka, in Dinajpur area, Hindu family's house has been burnt. Yes, just after the poll results have come out, which is the election results. Yesterday night itself, the house has been burned down. But as per the local sources, we get to understand that the families have been thankfully saved by the locals out there who had come into a rescue soonest as they sensed the fire which has been set up. But this family's house that was ablaze, we get to understand they were targeted just for being the minor classes in Bangladesh, and that is how the pattern has been continuing in Bangladesh for months now. And even after an elected government like the BNP, which has been selected, even after that, promises are seen to be unkept for the minorities, where again our Hindu families' house has been set into blaze in the area of Birganj, which is again a subdivision under Dinajpur in Bangladesh. Back to you.
We'll keep tracking the developments across in Bangladesh. Remember, even as we speak, the counting is still on. However, BNP seems to have a clear edge. But the fact that there is unleashed hatred and rampage against Hindus, minorities in Bangladesh, is going to be the first big hurdle for the newly sworn-in government in Bangladesh. Well, we are going to be tracking the developments very closely here in Bharat's backyard. But for the time being, we are slipping into a short break. Don't go anywhere.